London, June 11th, 2016. Wembley Arena is packed. Thousands of people have flown in from across the world. They are not here for a concert. They are not here for a match. They have come to see a woman they believe is about to change global finance. Her name is Ruja Ignatova. She holds a doctorate in law. She worked as a consultant at McKinsey Company. She speaks multiple languages, and tonight, in front of thousands of believers, she is about to announce something she claims will change the future of money. Forever. Girl on Fire blasts across Wembley. Pyrotechnics light the stage, like a stadium concert, and Ruja Ignatova walks out. She looks like a rock star. She walks like a CEO, and she tells the crowd that in 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore. 2 years earlier, in Sofia, Bulgaria, Ignatova had launched OneCoin, a company she promoted as the next great cryptocurrency opportunity. The pitch was simple. Bitcoin had made early investors rich. OneCoin, she claimed, would do the same for ordinary people. She called it the Bitcoin killer. But investigators would later conclude that OneCoin lacked the publicly verifiable blockchain technology that defines a legitimate cryptocurrency. Instead, the company controlled the system internally. Investors believed they owned valuable digital assets. In reality, prosecutors later argued that the value of the coins was centrally determined by OneCoin executives, not by any real market. The money flowed in through educational packages priced from €100 to more than 100,000 euros. Buyers were told they were purchasing cryptocurrency training and access to mining opportunities. But authorities later described the operation as a massive pyramid scheme, one that rewarded recruitment more than any actual product. The scheme spread rapidly across the world. Farmers in Uganda reportedly sold livestock to invest. Families across Europe emptied savings accounts. Retirees spent retirement funds on coins they believed would one day make them wealthy. In private messages later cited by prosecutors, OneCoin executives referred to their own product as a trashy coin. According to court records and investigative reporting, Ignatova once wrote that if the operation failed, they could take the money and run and blame somebody else. By 2016, U.S. prosecutors say OneCoin had taken in more than $4 billion from millions of investors worldwide. Ruja Ignatova understood something important. The appearance of success creates success. She appeared on the cover of Forbes Bulgaria in what critics later described as sponsored promotional coverage. She acquired luxury properties through shell companies, reportedly linked to OneCoin funds. She hosted extravagant events in London and Dubai, at Wembley, and at convention centers across Europe and Asia. She performed before crowds of devoted followers. She was not simply selling an investment, she was selling a movement, a financial revolution, for people who felt excluded from traditional banking and global wealth. At the same time, regulators in several countries began issuing warnings about OneCoin. But the company aggressively defended itself, often pointing to regulatory uncertainty surrounding cryptocurrency as evidence that critics simply did not understand the future. By 2016, OneCoin claimed to be one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world by market capitalization. But there was a problem. The coin could not be traded on legitimate cryptocurrency exchanges because it was never independently listed on one. The value people saw on their screens existed entirely inside the OneCoin system itself. Then suddenly, Ruja Ignatova disappeared. October 25th, 2017. Ignatova was scheduled to appear at an event in Lisbon, Portugal. She never arrived. Instead, she boarded a Ryanair flight from Sofia, Bulgaria, to Athens, Greece. No private jet, no motorcade, just a budget airline flight and a single bag. Investigators later believed she had received advance warning about coordinated international law enforcement efforts targeting OneCoin. A federal arrest warrant had been issued in the United States less than 2 weeks earlier. She knew investigators were closing in, and after arriving in Athens, the trail went cold. Her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, took over the company in her absence. He would later be arrested in the United States and cooperate with federal investigators. Sebastian Greenwood, OneCoin's co-founder, was arrested in Thailand in 2018. In 2023, he was sentenced in the United States to 20 years in federal prison. But the woman at the center of the operation was gone. In June 2022, the FBI added Ruja Ignatova to its 10 most wanted fugitives list, only the 11th woman in the list's history to appear on it. The reward for information leading to her arrest now stands at $5 million. Reported sightings have placed her in Dubai, Russia, South Africa, and across the Mediterranean. None have been confirmed. The FBI says it continues to operate under the assumption that she is still alive. But another theory emerged. In 2023, a Bulgarian investigative outlet published claims, based on police informants, alleging that Ignatova had been murdered aboard a yacht in the Ionian Sea in 2018, possibly by organized crime figures connected to the laundering of OneCoin money. The allegation has never been confirmed by the FBI, and the investigation remains open. Meanwhile, millions of victims remain. Families lost savings, retirees lost pensions. Investors across more than 170 countries were left holding coins that prosecutors say were never real cryptocurrency at all. Some justice has arrived. Sebastian Greenwood is serving a 20-year sentence in a U.S. federal prison. Attorney Mark Scott was convicted of laundering hundreds of millions of dollars connected to OneCoin. Konstantin Ignatov pleaded guilty and cooperated with investigators. But Ruja Ignatova has never been found. The woman who walked onto a Wembley Arena stage in front of thousands of cheering followers boarded a 1-hour flight out of Bulgaria in October 2017 and vanished. She left behind millions of victims, billions in losses, and one of the largest financial fraud investigations in modern history. And nearly a decade later, one question still remains. Where is the Cryptoqueen? Subscribe to Case Intel for in-depth true crime investigations.